Someone in my network, in my personal network, asked me this question, and the person said, which name will not be mentioned on request, but this person asked, and by the way, this person is a successful leader. This person has built a team, and this person is doing good when it comes to building a team and building a network. And asking this question is something I had to really think about the answer before even attempting the question. But the person said, what is the first step one must take as a leader in building a team? What is the first step one must make as a leader in building a team? Wow, that's a good question. That's a good question. What is the first step one must take as a leader in building a team? The first step one must take, with my understanding, is getting past the honeymoon phase. And you see, growing up, I've always idolized my dad, not in a negative sense. I mean, idolized in the sense that I always believed my dad knew everything. I always believed my dad was, like, to me, he was a superhero. My dad was the man, you know. And growing up, becoming a man of my own, moved away and living my own lives, having my own family. This superhero died to me. It's more like, at some point, I figured that whatever question I have to ask my dad at some point, or at this point, there is a tendency that he doesn't have the answer. And even if he does, I probably have the answer too. And even if I don't, there is a tendency that the answer he has for me may not fit my specific situation. So, in as much as I would take advice from my dad and seek what he can tell me on given situation, there is some part of me that knows that in the end of the day, I am to make the final decision on what I should do. And with that comes a responsibility. And the responsibility is, you will reap what you sow. Whether you take the advice from someone or not, the reaping is yours to do. So that has, in a whole, shifted me into a position of maximum undertaking of the potential catastrophe that may result from my own inadequate decision making. And that brings me back to answering this question. What is the first step of a leader in building a team? You must understand that you have to get past the honeymoon stage. When making mistakes, when there is a price for mistake made. You see, when you are just a new follower and you just come around the leader helps you, the leader takes care of you, the leader points you toward the right direction, the leader take the fall for your mistakes, the leader embodies your problem, your challenges. The leader does this for you. That is the job of a leader, to point the followers towards the right direction. And even if they stray from the right direction, the leader is to call them back and to keep them aligned on the goal. But when you become the leader, you have to embody the chaos and the blessings that comes from your decision. And then a honeymoon is over. It's over. It's over. It's now a game. It's a game. It's a game between, are you going to lose every day or are you going to win every day? And I've learned this from people like Grant Cardone, Patrick David. I've listened to Joe McWords. I've listened to Larry Winner. These are people I listen to. And I understood the fact that there is a point you get in your business, in your goal, in your endeavor, that you have to understand that every day you wake up, you have one thing to do. One thing. I don't want to use this or this, so I'm using this. You have one thing to do. You have to make a decision. You have to follow up with the decision. And you have to make sure the decision is right. And you have to make sure that the decision is carried out. And that is where the conundrum comes in. That means the honeymoon is over. That means you need to take the falls, and you also need to be ready for the reward. So becoming a leader means you have to lead yourself. You need to have the capacity to make decisions when the time comes and not to make decisions when it's not needed. And in order to do that, which takes us to the next thing, you have to be a great follower. To become a leader, you have to be a follower. You need to learn. But that I will discuss some other time. I just want to stop there answering this question. And I hope I answered your question if you're watching this. There are different forms of leaders. And I've seen tyrants, I've seen liberal leaders, I've seen different kind of leaders, and I've seen the non-committed leaders, I've seen the fully enthusiastic leader, and I've seen winners. And I know one thing for sure, as a winner and as a leader, you need to take the responsibility of every fall. And the falls are scary. And that's what scares a lot of people from leadership. Because when you become a leader, you go into the deep waters to see how deep it is before your troops can come in. And doing that is scary. It's scary, most especially when you are human, you are a man like everyone else. You are human. You breathe in air, and you bleed blood, and you have seen physical component like everyone else. But you have to be in the front of the war. You have to taste the poison and see that after all, we can deal with this. So that phase of a leader, which actually is the first phase, and that's the first thing a leader must exhibit, must embrace. And I think as a leader, if you can deal with that pretty early on in life, I think you will accelerate faster. Because I haven't seen any leader who actually pushes the blame to his team or to his followers who actually live long. No, that's what tyrants do. Tyrants push the blame to other people, and that's why they don't last. So as a leader, self accountability. That works. That works.